The dense forest loomed in silence as the moon cast an otherworldly glow upon the ancient trees. The air was thick with an eerie tension that seemed to seep from the very soil. The group of 5 friends, enticed by the whispers of the unknown, approached the cabin nestled in the heart of the foreboding woods. The door creaked open as if beckoning them into the abyss. Unbeknownst to the friends, the very walls of the cabin held the memories of dark rituals long past. Unholy symbols etched into the rotting floorboards seemed to pulse with an evil energy as the friends crossed the threshold into the unknown. Inside, the air hung heavy, laden with an oppressive stillness that pressed against their senses. The friends exchanged uneasy glances as they navigated the dimly lit rooms. The flickering candlelight revealed ancient tomes scattered about, each one bound in weathered leather and filled with cryptic symbols that hinted at the malevolent forces that had once held sway in the cabin. As the clock struck midnight, the temperature in the cabin plummeted, and an unseen force seemed to breathe down the necks of the unsuspecting friends. Sarah, the first to succumb to the paranormal, felt a spectral hand caress the back of her neck. A shiver ran down her spine as she turned to confront the apparition, but it dissolved into the shadows, leaving her trembling in its wake. Meanwhile, Mark, the skeptic of the group, scoffed at the eerie occurrences, dismissing them as mere tricks of the mind. Unfazed, he separated from the group to explore a narrow hallway. The candles lining the corridor flickered ominously as a sudden gust of wind extinguished their feeble flames. Darkness enveloped him like a suffocating cloak, and the air itself seemed to thicken with malevolence. Mark's bravado turned to terror as disembodied whispers echoed in the blackness. The walls seemed to close in on him, and he fumbled desperately for his flashlight. The feeble beam revealed a nightmarish scene, his own distorted reflection twisted in a grotesque dance of shadows. Before he could comprehend the horror, the darkness consumed him entirely. The friends, now frantic, discovered Mark's lifeless body hanging from the ceiling, suspended by an otherworldly force that defied explanation. As the surviving friends struggled to make sense of the unfolding nightmare, a series of disturbing events began to unfold with escalating intensity. Jason, attempting to find an escape route, stumbled upon a hidden chamber bathed in an eerie red light. The door slammed shut behind him, trapping him in a realm where reality itself seemed to warp and contort. In the blood-red glow, Jason witnessed a spectral congregation performing a macabre ritual. The air pulsated with dark energy as ethereal figures chanted incantations that sent shivers down his spine. A demonic mirror beckoned to him, and as he gazed into its abyss, his reflection twisted and morphed into a nightmarish version of himself. The mirror shattered, and Jason's body collapsed to the floor, a lifeless husk discarded by the malevolent forces at play. The remaining 2 friends, Emma and Alex, now gripped by a primal fear, stumbled upon a room pulsating with an otherworldly energy. The walls seemed to breathe, and the air vibrated with the whispers of long-forgotten incantations. A ghostly figure, draped in tattered robes, materialized before them, its hollow eyes locking onto their very souls. The ghostly figure beckoned them toward a mysterious altar adorned with ancient symbols. Unholy whispers urged them to make an unthinkable choice, sacrifice one of their own to appease the dark forces that lurked within the cabin's walls. Desperation etched across their faces. Emma and Alex resisted the spectral force that sought to control them. In the chaos, a blinding light enveloped them, and they found themselves back outside the cabin, their hearts pounding in their chests. The cabin stood silent, its facade unchanged, as if mocking the survivors who stood in the cold grip of the night. The friends, traumatized and scarred by the horrors they witnessed, stumbled away from the cabin, leaving behind the echoes of their friends' screams and the unsettling secrets that lingered within. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to whisper ancient secrets, and shadows danced in the periphery of their vision. A spectral mist enveloped them, and a chilling wind carried haunting whispers that seemed to echo from the very fabric of the woods. The survivors, now plagued by uncertainty and fear, found themselves drawn back to the cabin, as if guided by unseen hands. The cabin, once a haven of unspeakable evil, beckoned them with a promise of answers. The group reluctantly stepped back inside, their senses heightened as the air crackled with an otherworldly energy. The atmosphere seemed charged with the presence of an ancient force, and the walls themselves seemed to pulse with a malevolent heartbeat. As they delved deeper into the cabin's secrets, they discovered a hidden room adorned with tattered tapestries and flickering candles. At the center of the room stood a withered figure, a hunched and twisted old woman who exuded an aura of ancient malevolence. The witch, a keeper of the dark arts, cackled as she revealed herself. "You trespass upon sacred ground?" The witch crooned, her voice a haunting melody that sent shivers down their spines. "The spirits demand retribution, and the shadows hunger for your souls." The room came alive with supernatural phenomena. Books flew off the shelves, pages turning as if possessed by unseen hands. Candles flickered and danced in an unnatural rhythm, casting grotesque shadows on the walls. The witch, her eyes glowing with an unholy fire, raised her arms in a ritualistic gesture. The survivors, now ensnared in the witch's malevolent gaze, felt the very fabric of reality warp around them. The walls of the cabin seemed to bleed with ethereal energy, and ghostly apparitions materialized, their faces contorted in eternal agony. The air vibrated with the echoes of long-forgotten incantations as the survivors were drawn into a nightmarish dreamscape. One by one, the friends succumbed to the spectral illusions that haunted their minds. Emma witnessed a phantasmal procession of the dead, their hollow eyes staring into her soul. Alex, tormented by shadowy figures, felt unseen hands clawing at his sanity. The witch's laughter echoed through the nightmare, a discordant symphony that heralded their descent into madness. As the survivors grappled with their tortured minds, the witch's cackling reached a crescendo. The room seemed to implode upon itself, collapsing into a void of absolute darkness. The survivors, disoriented and disheveled, found themselves standing in the heart of the haunted forest, the cabin nowhere in sight. The memories of the nightmarish events lingered, but the witch and her malevolent powers had vanished. The survivors, now scarred by the horrors they had faced, stumbled through the dense woods, uncertain of what was real and what was a lingering nightmare. The forest, silent and foreboding, held its secrets close. The survivors, haunted by the shadows of the past, emerged from the woods changed, their souls forever touched by the malevolence that lurked within the heart of the cabin. The tale of the cursed cabin in the woods echoed through the whispers of the locals, and the survivors, burdened by the weight of the supernatural, carried the chilling mystery with them for the rest of their lives. To this day, the cabin remains a spectral relic, a testament to the dark forces that defy explanation. Locals speak of the haunted forest and the elusive witch who weaves her malevolent spells from the shadows. The survivors, forever bound by the paranormal events that unfolded that fateful night, can never shake the feeling that the ancient evil of the cabin still lingers, waiting to ensnare the souls of the unwary who dare to venture into the heart of the haunted woods. The mystery endures, hidden within the twisted branches and shadowy depths, a chilling reminder that some horrors are better left undisturbed.